Hi everybody, welcome to Drag Queen Story Hour. My name is Miss Didi Camacho, and today we'll be reading Desert Blue, written and illustrated by Patrick Gabaldon. This book is also dedicated to those forever lost, changed, and taken on August 3rd of 2019, to the people of the border, and to his love, Monica. Enjoy. Desert Blue. In the desert, sun lives the color blue. If you squint your eyes, you'll notice her hue. Blue as the sky so high above, she lives in the desert, forgotten by some. Blue grows despite the burn, and in a place where the others avoid, she breathes new life given by the sun. If you focus your eyes on the brown desert sand, you'll notice others like blue in a communion so grand. In a place unnoticed, in a desert so brown, blue as the ocean piercing the ground. Like you, like me, she began to stretch in the bright yellow sun. Her heart set free, so she made it her intention to stretch higher than the eye can see. She set her plan to bloom and stand a blue tower of life in the brown hot sand. And as she grew, her bite grew too, pointy, prickly, jagged, and new. Days turned into weeks, and the sun turned up the heat. Ooh. Then, right on time, the monsoon came. He brought the thunder, the wind, the gray sky, and the rain. When the storm had passed and all the rain was gone, blue stretched yet again towards the sun. Higher, higher, and higher. And higher. It hadn't rained for weeks, not a storm cloud in sight. Still she persisted and stretched with all her might. She grew in the sun and bloomed brightly too, a slow burst of color, perfecting her hue. Like the slow rising sun, she grew in her beauty. Did you know that blue isn't some plant alone in the sand? She is the mountain spirit alive in our borderland. And I'll let you in a little secret if you promise to live it, breathe it, and keep it. Her blooming beauty, and it's you, bold, beautiful, resilient, and true. One community nestled in the sand, filled with the warmth and pride few understand. We stand tall in our beauty, hand in hand, together. The end. Thank you so much for joining me for Drag Queen Story Hour. My name is Miss Didi Camacho, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much and have a great day. Be safe and be kind to one another.
Excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm gonna draw an agave cactus.
Why are you gonna draw an agave?
Well, so in 2019, I wrote and illustrated a little children's book, kind of a poem, and the main character is one of my favorite desert plants, and it's a blue agave.
Why is it your favorite desert plant?
Well, I think they just look super cool. They kind of have really sharp spines that kind of remind me of teeth. Every time I see them, it kind of reminds me of like an alligator, big alligator mouth, chomping up and down. And they're so cool. You can see them around town here in El Paso and in the desert. And they are so scary looking, but they're also really beautiful. The colors, sometimes you'll see ones that are green or red, have yellows in them. I like the blue ones a lot. Sometimes they have purples and gray. And every now and then, if you're lucky, they'll bloom, which is kind of awesome and also sad because they bloom once, they get really, really tall, and then they die. But they can get pretty huge. And I just think they're really cool to see in the desert, all this brown and rocks and gray, and then out of nowhere sometimes you'll see this little blue cactus coming out of the ground.
So, I think we have to address, we're doing this virtually.
Right.
And, people might be worried or having things on their mind right now. And, is drawing something that helps you with that?
Yeah, so drawing helps take my mind away from stresses and things I'm worrying about, things I'm thinking about that aren't always the best. So a lot of times getting some colored pencils, a pencil, some pen and paper, and just kind of drawing what you see around you. That's why I draw a lot of cactus and I paint a lot of cactus because they're everywhere. I hope that drawing and coloring or painting or anything creative really, whether that's music or dancing, something that helps shift your thinking and your mind away from the stresses that are kind of always there and focusing on something that you can create in the moment is really helpful for me to de-stress and to just have fun too, because you can draw all sorts of stuff or paint all sorts of stuff or dance all sorts of ways, and they're all really good ways to help just deal with some of the sadness or boredom that you might be dealing with or confronting in your life.
Okay, so our friends just had your book read to them, which is really awesome, and we're really excited about that.
Right.
And, we thought this would be pretty cool to show them how you draw an agave.
Right.
So, do you want to get started on that part of the...
For you first.
Oh, you're going to ask me a question? Okay.
Yeah, so since you're filming straight up and down, let's put them to YouTube. Will it be straight up and down or will it be wide?
My guess is it'll be straight up and down. You think I should change it?
Yeah, but I guess we're already crooked. It's too late.
Okay, well, let's get started then on drawing.
Okay. So, agaves, for the most part, are just lots of triangles, and what makes them look funny and fun is adding curves to them. So, I often think to first start off and thinking about an agave in that very simple triangle form. And so the general shape of them, they have these weird little, these giant leaves, right, that come out of the ground. They're not really leaves, but they kind of are these arms. And the general shape is kind of like this. I like to picture them as little hands, like kind of cartoon hands that come out of the ground. So this line here will act as our ground, and you can make them however big or small, or however many points you want to them, or you can even add some in between each point to give you a little depth. But at the end of the day, when you start with them, they're pretty much these triangle shapes, and I like to leave them fun and simple like that. And you'll notice if you've seen other drawings I've done or paintings I've done, sometimes I draw these prickly pears and I draw their spikes like that. These real simple motion pricklies on them. It's the same concept for a big agave. You just change those a little bit more the more you draw. So we'll do one. Looks kind of like a little hand. And what starts giving them their shape or their body, kind of differentiating them from the simpler, is when you start adding those little teeth you see around on the plant itself. So when you see the plants out in the wild, they have these long spikes, right? And then they have these kind of little alligator teeth that run and that have sharp edges on the teeth and sharp edges at the tip, right? So that helps add depth to the plant itself. What I like to do is usually add them on top like this and then go back and erase your line. And it gives you now the jagged, sharp edge of the agave. You can do the same here on these plants. Another thing I like to do when starting off in this phase is starting with the teeth a little bit south here, a little bit underneath the main point edge here, starting a little bit south right about here, and then going all the way to the bottom. And then because the plant itself is kind of a curved plant, right? So these little guys here curve, so you'll have teeth on both ends of the plant. So that's why I like to do them a little bit inside of this dark line, because then you can add your other teeth line here and it'll let you close it off, and then you can color that in. That's what I usually do with a dark color, because then it gives you a little bit of depth. And you'll notice if you saw the book, that little bit of depth and dark blue when you're adding color adds a lot of depth to the plant itself, and it helps make it fun. And so I usually like to do this style at least twice in the plant. So we'll start down here, kind of go up again, and then we'll follow down. We'll end it a little sooner. And same concept, color it in. It's just a quick example with pencil. If you have colors, it's even better to color it in with a dark blue or a black color. Also, you can add your little points on top, your little spikes. And so we're already kind of seeing the plant take shape. And if you've seen these plants, you also will notice that sometimes they have these weird little waves. I like to call them little waves that you can see when you look close onto the plant. And you just make your little wave motion like that and just kind of add it and connect them as you want to connect them. And it kind of adds a little bit of detail to the plant. Now, another little thing I like to add on these agaves, we'll do it on this one, is the way the plant is looking at us. So that means adding some more of this dark shading, this depth, but kind of where it's coming at us. So it's the same thing, but I'm going to do them almost right across from each other. And there you can see it kind of looks like an alligator, I think at least. If you add some eyeballs on it. And we just color it in. And all these steps are pretty simple. You start with a triangle, and essentially your one triangle here turns into a whole bunch as you go, right? And even in these jagged teeth, your triangles keep growing, and you're pretty much using the same shape over and over again. So long as you know how to draw a triangle, you can figure out how to draw an agave pretty easy.
So do you have any last tips for anybody drawing an agave?
Well, I always like to make them as crazy as you want to. So The first tip would be go outside in your neighborhood, make sure that you're being careful and you're keeping your distance from your neighbors and you're not getting too close to these agaves. But if chances are there's probably one growing in your neighborhood or in a park nearby or in someone's front yard. A lot of people like to decorate their houses with them, and just look at it for a while. Just kind of look at all the weird twists and turns that the plants do. Look at all the interesting little personality traits that the agaves have, and you'll see soon enough that none of them look the same, and a lot of them are totally crazy. They do wild things. They twist and they turn, and sometimes they have, like I said, purples and blues and pinks in them. And you'll notice that hopefully that'll show you that, look, nature really doesn't have a pattern it follows. Nature doesn't have some kind of rules that the plant has to look like. So keep that in mind when you're drawing your plant. If you want it to be extra huge, make it extra huge. If you want it to have tons of little spikes, add tons of spikes. If you want it to just be 2 or 3, then just make it 2 or 3. Nothing is really the same out there, just kind of like how we are, right? We all grow different. We all are different and have the unique things that make us us. So make sure to pay attention to that when you're looking at cactus out in your neighborhood as well. They're just like us. They're different. They're unique. And no two are the same. And you'll notice too, once you see one, you'll probably start seeing more around your neighborhood, and you'll probably notice that you might find a different kind of cactus that grows that's green, or you might find that your eye is pulled to another cactus that grows in your neighborhood. That's cool. Try drawing those. If you notice that the agave is mostly triangles, well then when you look at a prickly pear, what shapes do you see? What shapes put together a prickly pear plant? I always see the oval, which makes the tuna here, and then the little triangles that make the spikes, or sometimes little circles that make spikes. And then the big red purple fruit on top is just another circle. So once you can see the triangles in your agave, you'll start to notice that everything around us is just these smaller shapes, making up more interesting images, and hopefully that'll make it easier for you to draw whatever it is that you want to be drawing, whether that's pictures of your friends, of your dog, of your mom, your dad, the mountain outside, or the clouds up in the sky.
Cool. Any last words before we end our recording?
Thanks for reading the book. That's pretty cool. Hopefully you liked it, and hopefully you'll read it again someday to one of your friends, and you can share the story with other people in your life. And my hope for the book is that it's a good reflection of our community and our neighborhood here in El Paso. So thank you for reading it, and thank you for taking the time and drawing with me.
Hi everybody! You want to say hi? I'm Allison, the coordinator of Drag Queen Story Hour, and this is my assistant Dina. She's going to be helping me to sing and dance with you today. So thank you for joining us for Drag Queen Story Hour today. We're so excited to be able to put it online for you. Our first song is called a hello song. So let's sing it with each other. I'm going to sing the first part, and then Dina is going to mirror it back to me. Okay? Please come over here. We're going to do it together. Hello. 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 How are you? Hello. How are you? I'm fine. And I hope that you are too. Should we go around in a circle? And I hope you are too. Hello, 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 how are you? Other way? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Very nice, thank you. The next song is Shake My Sillies Out, and we're going to get some help from Raffi on this one. Raffi? Mm-hmm. I forgot about his name. He's going to help us sing this song. Oops. Come on, Raffi. Yeah. Shake your sillies out. Shake sillies out. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. Wiggle my waggles away.
I gotta clap,
Clap, clap my clap, clap, clap my crazies out. Clap, clap, clap my crazies out. Wiggle my waggles away.
I gotta jump,
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 jump my jiggles out. Jump, jump, jump my jiggles out. Jump, jump, jump my jiggles out. Wiggle my waggles away.
I gotta yawn,
Yawn.
yawn my sleepies out.
Yawn.
Yawn, yawn my sleepies out.
Ooh.
Yawn my sleepies out.
Wiggle my waggles away.
I gotta shake,
Shake, shake my sillies out. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. Shake, shake, shake my sillies out. And wiggle my waggles away. Wiggle my waggles away. Yay! The next song is a balloon song.
Boys and girls, once when I was visiting in Cambridge, Massachusetts, I met a woman from India. India is a faraway country. She taught me a song about a balloon. Her name is Padma. Let's hear you pronounce it.
Padma.
Now, Padma is Hindi. Try to pronounce Hindi.
Hindi. So we learned this song from Ella Jenkins. I don't think we can play the whole song just in case of copyright. But we learned this song from Ella Jenkins when my older son was very little, and we've been singing it for a very long time. So we're going to practice blowing up a balloon. But you might not have a real balloon, so you can use your hands. You're going to start with your hands like this and blow into them, and then make your hands go out like this, and out, and out, and out, and out, and finally it pops, okay? And there's a song that goes with it. Ready? Blow the balloon. Blow the balloon. Blow and blow and blow and blow and blow. Where did my balloon go? Where did it go, Dina? Did you eat it?
You ate it.
I ate it. Where did the balloon go, friends at home? They say it popped. Oh, let's try it again. Blow the balloon. Blow the balloon. Blow and blow and blow and blow and blow. Where did my balloon go?
It went into your forehead.
I became one with the balloon. No, it popped. Okay, the next song is called The Wheels on the Bus, and Rafi's going to help us sing that one too.
Wait, he made some bus.
Yep. Okay, everybody get ready. We're driving the bus.
Can I be the
on the bus go round and round,
Here, let's go this way.
round and round.
This way.
On the bus go round and round.
All around the town. Now you drive.
The wipers on the bus go
Swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all around the town.
switch.
The driver on the bus says, move on back, move on back, move on back. The driver on the bus says, move on back, all around the town.
People on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. People on the bus go
Up and down, all around the town. Switch.
The horn on the bus goes
Beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 all around the town.
and the baby on
This
the
is
bus
your
goes
turn.
Wah,
Babies on the bus goes wah, 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 all around the town. Parents on the bus go shh, 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 shh.
Parents on the bus go
All around the town. Very nice. And our last song for today is called We Are the Dinosaurs. This is a preschool favorite. We get to pretend to be dinosaurs today?
I want to be the T-Rex.
Okay.
What are you going to be?
I'm going to be a pterodactyl, which isn't really a dinosaur, but that's okay. Here we go. We're marching.
Whoa, whoa.
I'm marching. March like a dinosaur? Or just like a person? Should we march in a circle?
Wait, you follow.
Marching, marching, we are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? We are the dinosaurs. Marching, marching, we are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat. We stop and we don't move. When we're alone, we stop and we don't move. We stop. Maybe we can eat from the ground. When we're alone, we stop and we don't move. And then we march again.
This way.
That way? We are the dinosaurs marching.
Pikachu.
We are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat. Okay, now it's time. We stop and take a rest on the ground. At the end of the day. Here, let's take a rest together. And then you hear us say, what? What do we say? We are the dinosaurs marching, march. Oh, in place? What do you think of that?
Like
We
this?
are the dinosaurs. Oh, and flat. And then we roar. Roar!
Wow.
Because we are the dinosaurs. One more roar. Roar! Thank you so much for joining us today. We've had a wonderful time
Podium.
singing and dancing with you and reading with you and making art with you, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully live next month. Thanks again for joining us. Bye!
Bye.